Hi, welcome to Movies and Munchies. I'm Lauren Craig.
And I'm Billiana Reyes.
And today we are reviewing The Wrong Missy. It's about a guy named Tim who thinks he's invited the woman of his dreams on a work retreat to Hawaii when he realizes too late that he mistakenly invited a woman from a nightmare blind date.
And our munchies today is Harvest Snaps, green pea snack chips. You want to try them out?
Ooh, yes, let's try them.
Wait a minute. These are actually really good. Well, I think they're really good. Do you think they're really good?
You definitely have to like peas to like these because you can taste the pea flavor.
They're like very subtle. Like they're not too, I guess, green pea, if that's a word. They're very like air fried crispy, and it's like not too overpowering, and there's like a little bit of salt in it. What are your thoughts?
I think they're good. They kind of remind me of edamame. Like they have a very strong edamame taste.
They do, and I'm a big fan of edamame, so for me, this is a 5. I'm sorry, but I'm obsessed with these now.
I'm warning the people, you gotta like peas. Don't get these thinking it's gonna taste like Doritos.
I like found my new maybe movie snack.
I'm going to rate these. I do enjoy them, but I'm not really like crazy about these. So I think I'm gonna rate them a good 2.5.
Oh, 2.5.
I'm sorry. They do have a lot of flavors though. I want to try some of the other flavors.
It's okay, Lauren.
Alright, so what did you think about the movie that I picked?
Oh my god, I love this movie. Like, I loved it so much, especially because it's a happy Madison film, and I love Adam Sandler, so I really loved it. And I haven't seen this actor in a while, until like now. How about you? How were your thoughts?
Oh my gosh, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of good laughs. It was just it was one of those over-the-top, crazy comedy movies where it's just like so many insane things are going on that it's just like, okay, like, it's funny because it's just like insanely ridiculous.
Totally agree.
Okay, so during the movie, he's trying to get this promotion. He's fighting against this other girl in his company. So he's doing all these things to try and impress his boss. So my first question for you is, would you or have you ever done something to impress a boss that you weren't comfortable with?
No, I haven't done something to like impress a boss that I wasn't comfortable with, but I have done a lot of things to impress people that I like potentially wanted to like have a relationship with, if that makes sense. But nothing like anything, I guess, business type or within the business industry.
I was trying to think if I had, and I could not think of a time. I've always been kind of very like, you either like me or you don't. I'm not gonna suck up to you. But yeah, I thought it was so crazy in the movie how he like literally went shark cage diving to impress this boss. And it also kind of hit close to home because I am going to South Africa, and one of my excursions is going to be shark cage diving, and I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I hope this doesn't happen to me.
So my question to you is, have you ever been on a blind date? Once we watch the beginning of the movie, they start off on a blind date. So have you been on a blind date?
I have not been on a completely blind date before. I used to use the dating apps, so I have like met up with people that I've never talked to in person before or never like really met. So I guess that counts as like a semi-blind date, but never a full-on, never seen you before, someone else set it up, never done one of those blind dates. But I have had some crazy online dating app dates.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to listen to this later about your crazy stories.
I've got stories, girl. Maybe we could do a little mini episode.
I have never been on a blind date with, I guess, like, back then, it's, since I'm, like, from a small island, you kind of know everybody. But since I moved out here, like, in the States, like, it's more common than I would have thought of. But yeah, and I wouldn't think, like, it would be a blind date technically anymore with all the technology that we have.
My next question for you is, so throughout the whole movie up until the end, Missy is just this, like, nutcase. Like, she is insane. So, but then, like, near the end of the movie, he starts to fall for her because she, like, starts to show this actual, like, real human side of her, and, like, I feel like it just changed a lot. So my question for you is it realistic that she could truly redeem herself in this guy's eyes? Like, is this really realistic that he would end up falling for her after all the crazy stuff that she's done?
Okay, so I'm like a hopeless romantic, and I truly believe, like, yeah, she could, or he could, like, definitely fall in love with her. Like, he already saw all her crazy stuff. Like, if she's normal, like, that's a no-brainer. Like, oh, she's kind of chill, but, like, she does have, like, this crazy side. But yeah, I think, like, yeah, he could definitely fall in love with her realistically. I mean, once you, like, see someone's, like, low moments or their, like, extreme craziness, like, that's all you're kind of, like, running away from if you don't like it or not. But he stayed with her for quite a bit and kind of, like, got to see her, like, in a more personal level.
I love that we have, like, the complete opposite opinion of this. Like, I was watching this and I was like, there is no way that he would turn around and start to like her. I was like, oh no, she's way too crazy. Like, there's no way. That's hilarious.
In the movie, Missy has this alter ego that she, like, brings out whenever she's trying to get someone to, I guess, open up to her. And it's, like, so weird. It's like a Gollum kind of feel. Do you have an alter ego?
I do not have an alter ego, and I kind of wish I did.
What? I totally have an alter ego. Her name is Olivia, and she's British, and she comes out when I'm drunk. Or she comes out when I feel like I'm being sassy. So she, like, would come out once in a while, like, when I'm doing auditions, and yeah, she's a whole nother person. It gives me, like, time to play in my acting career.
So in the movie, his ex-fiance and her new boo is there with them and, like, just interacts with them the entire time. What do you think about these movies that have this much ex interaction? Like, do you think this happens in real life where their ex is just there and they have to be civil? And have you ever, like, tried to front to impress an ex?
I do think it happens in real life. Like, sometimes you just bump into them or you guys are in the same crowd. But not me personally. I never have, like, tried to impress my ex. Like, usually they're my ex for a reason and I don't want to be with them. But yeah, I do think it's a common, I guess, thing that does happen where you see your ex and you're just like, oh, great.
The only time I really ran into exes is, like, in college, because obviously you're still kind of around everybody. And then even those exes, like, it really wasn't, I'm not a very, like, dramatic person, and I always try to find the best in people, so usually I try to end things pretty amicably. It doesn't always happen, but typically if enough times pass by, then you can be civil towards each other. So if we ever run into each other, it's kind of like, I don't usually speak, but it's not like I'm running away or I'm shooting daggers at you. But no, I've never, you know, exactly what you said, they're an ex for a reason. I've never really tried to, like, do something to impress an ex, you know, like, whatever, but yeah.
My next question for you is, during the intro, it was, like, extremely crazy. He was trying to, like, dunk out of this blind date. Do you think that intro hooked you into watching the film more?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a very strong intro. I thought it was funny. I really enjoyed the intro, and that was like, oh, this is gonna be good. Just because it just introduced the tone of the movie and how crazy it was gonna be. So yeah, it drew me in for sure.
It definitely made me want to watch the movie, like, even more. Like, I saw how crazy she is, but then when they, like, took her away for a while, I was like, man, like, I hope she comes back, because you just never know. And then when she came back, I was like, I'm invested. I'm watching this movie all the way to the end.
Okay, so throughout the movie, Missy is, like, talking about all these certifications she has. Oh, I'm a chiropractor, I'm a therapist, I'm this. Like, it was like, no matter what situation was going on, she was, like, certified in that field. Do you think that she was a pathological liar, or do you think her character was so, like, wacky all over the place that she actually was certified in all of these things?
I actually do think she was certified in all this stuff, because everything she's done, like, no one had to, like, go to the hospital to get it, like, refixed. Like, she actually fixed the problem of what was happening. Like, with his ankle, she, like, put it back together. When the guy was, like, dead, like, she did CPR. And then also in the film, she, like, gave a reason why she, like, gave so much, like, did so much skills or, like, so much classes because of, like, I believe her dad died or someone in her life died. And that was the way she kind of, like, coped with it. So I do, like, think it was because she was not a pathological liar, but it would be super crazy if she was. Now you got me thinking. What is your response?
I thought that she, until, like, what you just said, because all of that is very true, she did fix all those people, but the whole time I was like, this girl's just making stuff up as she goes, and that's just adding to her craziness. And I did, oh my gosh, I did know a girl that was, like, crazy and would just make up stuff like that. Like, she's a pathological liar. She'd just make up the most random stuff. Like, she was, like, an art major in this college, or she was, like, a skateboarder, and, like, all these, like, random things that she would make up that, like, I just, like, yeah, I just found out was, like, complete BS. And I was like, oh, people are really like this sometimes. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching Movies and Munchies and listening to our thoughts on The Wrong Missy.
Yeah, and if you need a healthy snack for your movie night, check out Harvest Snacks Green Tea Snack Trips. They're really healthy and I enjoy them. And if you could just leave a comment or let us know what movie we should watch next. Bye!
Bye!